Greetings. Welcome back to another supporter stream. I know it's been a few weeks. I don't like delaying several weeks at a time, but I ran out of places to find the internet. I was hunting around, but I ended up over on the Pacific Northwest, and yeah, you can find internet at places where you can't park, and you can't park at places you can find internet. So, you know, there's very interesting places up here. And if I keep doing this, it's because I'm trying to download a distribution to do a review of it. But it's so massive, like every stupid Linux distribution is becoming so massive in size, I cannot do it with my limited 150 gigabytes of bandwidth. So I'm trying to steal Walmart's internet, and right now it's telling me there's 12 days left to download the Linux distro. But it'll go up and down and up and down. So I just need to keep here and wiggle the mouse and make sure it doesn't fail and reset the download if it does. So if I'm doing this, it's because I'm checking on my download. So you guys can have a distro review soon. But anyway, long time. How's everybody doing? How's it going, Dan? Of course, I need to unmute Dan.
It's going.
Now you're unmuted. It's going. All right. All right. I hope you guys had a couple weeks off, but I was like, oh, I hope I don't. I hope people will show up tonight. You know. So we are streaming everywhere, and I did throw Joshu TV into my restreaming server, but the platform sucks so bad. Like, I've set it up. I've got the stream keys. There is no way to link where it is. In theory, we should be running. I can't find my stream over there. So if anybody can find the stream for Joshu TV, let me know where to find it, and I'd be glad to link it. But this is, I mean, if Joshu TV cannot have a coherent system by which a tech guy can understand how to actually get a stream going into my system and find the link and post it, screw Joshu TV. I would like to make it work, but I don't have hours and hours to figure out how to get a platform that we have a whopping 4 subscribers on that nobody knows exists. So it's warm. Yeah. Anyway, Salbu, how is it going your way?
I'm doing fine. I was just thinking that it sounds very promising for a streaming platform that the channel owner can't find his own stream.
I know I can find my channel, which there's no way to get nice, pretty URLs in the channel. So it's _606BC1E CEB32B. I should just memorize that, and like that. Any time somebody asks me for like my name at Starbucks, give them that. That would be awesome. So I literally typed in the exact name of the stream we're doing, and it is not showing up anywhere. So I don't know. There's live TV streams. There's a button for that. I don't know if anybody can find it. Let me know. I'd be glad to link it. In theory, we are streaming to it. But I can't find it. And the site's always really slow and things like that. And so it's just like, you know, this is why I don't push all my content over there. All right, well, we're just going to go back and hang out on my channel, and if somebody finds it, we find it. Anyway, we are also over on Odyssey, Rumble, Twitch, and DLive, so you can find me on all those places. Let's see. Cool to finally be able to chat on one of these since I refuse to use YouTube. Title redacted says. Very good. Everything is rusting, even Linux. What should we do? I know, Linux is going to be rusting. As of Linux 6, Rust is going to be included. That's right. The Rust programming language. When Rust gets mandatory, I'll probably move back to OpenBSD. Also, Odyssey won't let me comment from my preferred account. Nice. Interesting. Could be a bug. Found that for a couple months. I thought they were censoring me. It turns out if you are censored from making contents, Odyssey will say so. Odyssey, only video/stream owner can censor you? I don't know. Odyssey can and will censor. All things deleted, Josh TV. All right, let's see. 2 watching over on Rumble. Greetings, folks. And 1 over on Twitch. 1 over on DLive. And I don't know about Joshu TV. 25 on YouTube. Ivan, how's it going your way? I didn't say hi to you yet.
Oh, hey, Tom. How you doing? Hey, I'm doing all right.
All right.
Nothing major going on.
All right.
Just enjoying the weather. It's nice.
Very good. I had very minimal agenda today. Mostly, like, I do not like taking 3 weeks off. from the stream, but I just had to. So like the first week I was coming over, I think I had went to Glacier National Park, and then I left that and I was in a campsite that I probably would have been able to stream, except because of heavy tree cover and heavy cloud cover, I had no electricity. I just simply had to drive. So I drive over, and the FCC charts indicated I should be able to get some signal in a few places. It was actually FCC charts, so they're very accurate, fairly accurate, I should say, as we've learned from my last couple weeks. And so if I left 1 hour earlier and drove all the way into Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, I would have been able to stream, but I didn't know Coeur d'Alene was there and that it was a big city that was only like 30 minutes further down the road from where I was. So that was why that didn't happen. And then I think last week, where was I? Was it last week? It was, I went over to, I think we missed 3 weeks though. I forget what the previous week was. I think the previous week was I was like extremely tired and a really bad day. And I was like, never mind.
I think it was 3.
I think it was, yeah. And then was it last week? Yeah, last week was I was in a place that was not particularly safe, and so I left there for safer places. I found a spot that I had internet enough that I could do 0.3 down and 0.1 up. So that was fun. But I was like, it was such a nice place. I just decided I was going to hang out there, skip the stream, and that's also when we did the weekly news roundup on Saturday instead. And that was actually, I was camped just 8 miles outside of Mount Rainier. Now, what I didn't know is right at the Mount Rainier Visitor Center on the southwest corner, you get in. I actually got 60 down and 40 up right there. I could have streamed if I knew that they had internet that was that good right there. I guess they must have one tower there, and it echoes throughout the canyon because there's mountains on all sides. And so you get amazingly good internet right there. And I just didn't know that until I got there. So I was able to boost stuff up and get a bunch of work done and get some stuff uploaded from there. And then I just left, and then I just went up to actually the same place I'm at now. And then I just kind of did a loop around Olympic. And so now I'm on the way out of here. So, fun stuff. So that's been my couple weeks, and I forgot to get the pictures. You guys want to see the pictures? I can probably rustle them up at the end of the show if you guys want to. Let me know in the comments. Dakota Rustler accomplished 2 things over the past 48 hours. Joined Patreon and scheduled a test live stream. Retirement is going to be fun. Ooh, let me know when you are live streaming. I will see if I can jump in. Rick Forges, greetings. Bruce's eclectic world. Of course, he had to switch back to his alien form. Hello, Moonbase. Let's see. Had to replace my air cooler tomorrow or Saturday at the latest. Nice. Love the name. Let's see. It started back as a prank, and now it has its own life. I know, right? That's how things always go. Fan speed was set too high and burnt out. We'll cover it in the news tomorrow, but there's a really bad Linux kernel that can destroy your LCD panels. So be warned of that. It's only on laptops if you're running Intel with integrated Intel graphics. I think is it 6.2.19, I think. Somebody, if you want to look that up, will announce it here as well. It only rolled out in Arch, Fedora, and OpenSUSE Tumbleweed. But they issued an emergency patch. But there is one version of the Linux kernel that rolled out that if you are running laptops on Intel integrated graphics, it can physically damage the screen. So be aware of that if you're running Arch, Fedora, or OpenSUSE Tumbleweed, that there is a Linux kernel you need to avoid. Another YouTuber tried to switch this week, but was unable to get working. Shame. In my opinion, Solus is the most underrated distro ever. I gotta fly back in here. I've not seen him fly for a while. Oh well. Let's get a short URL for it with a name that makes sense. For what, Joshua TV? I can't. Everything's randomly generated. What is Rust? Good or bad thing? I know very little about it. It is a modern programming language. So the programmers, if any of you guys know any about it, let me know and give you the floor. Always busy during your live stream. Happy to be here today while procrastinating over the code I'm working on. All right. Well, thank you, Corolla. 5.19.12. That sounds correct. So that is the Linux kernel. So if you're running 5.19.12, you want to avoid that kernel if you are running a laptop with integrated Intel graphics. Should be good. I have an older laptop running MX Linux or LXDE. Yep, smashy that thumbs up. I'm on 6.0, waiting for 6.1. Already on 5.19.13. Hey, man, I'm sure I have things around here still running like a 3. Those old Android phones that have been updated for a while. All right. Second cup of coffee for the day because it's only like, is it 4? I think it's only 4 where I'm at. I don't know. I keep all my computer clocks at Eastern Standard Time because that's where I run all my businesses out of. But yeah, it is 4 o'clock because I'm over on the Pacific. All right.
Speaking of the kernels, the Data Association that I'm one of the engineers of, admins of, we upgraded many of our systems 6 months ago. And 2 of them was still running our kernel 2 point something. It was Debian 6.
We do have a Vampire Frog over on D Live. Greetings, Vampire Frog. How are you? Nobody's saying hi over in Twitch yet or in Rumble yet. Odyssey is busy and YouTube is busy with comments. Let's see. This week ISP set new internet speed record at her house, making 600 BPS to 1 kbps down for like an hour. Oh Lord. Yeah. So I'm looking at picking up another mobile hotspot, and we picked up a few more Patreon supporters, so thank you guys. And I think we might have enough that I can justify an extra $50 and more internet, so that maybe we can rely less on Walmart's 20 KB internet and stuff like that a little bit later. What's this thing telling me? It either says 4 hours or 4 days left for my Linux download. I don't know. We'll see. DistroTube, greetings. Only second cup of coffee. I'm usually on my second cup by sunrise. I mean, I got up and I got up after sunrise, and yeah, I do admit I am going slower through my coffee than usual. Greetings, DistroTube. Next time I swing through Louisiana, maybe I should try and swing by and visit you. I think I was on the coast last time I was there. I went down. I was actually camping on I think Rutherford Beach. You can park up there for a couple weeks at a time. All right. So let's. Anything specific we want to talk about Linux Hangout first, or should we jump about a little bit of future direction here? Anybody?
Don't speak all at once.
All right. Let's chat briefly future direction, and then we'll just kind of hang out. So, of course, it was about the second time YouTube at least feigned giving a community strike, but then I think they gave it, and then they can you say the word reneged these days? I don't know. That's the only word that comes to mind. Take it back. So I think that was really what happened. Maybe they couldn't justifiably. Redacted it. Maybe they couldn't justifiably take me down for talking about Plex TV when one of the biggest tech channels talks about it like every week. So I said, I'm going to try and commit to getting the new version of the website up because it's been floundering for a while in development, and I've been working on a bunch of other projects. And right now I'm in this weird stuck spot where it's like, I want to ramp down web design. It's just getting insane. cPanel prices are going up again. While at the same time, anybody who runs websites, cPanel SSLs are not loading properly most of the time. cPanel's aware of it. They're increasing our prices, but they're not actually doing anything about the cPanel issue. So there's that, and then you get a lot of email stuff, and then you get everybody's requiring 2FA, and then nobody has good systems in place. The fact that realize that most people that own these accounts don't actually do anything with them. They just pass the information over to their web developers. I need to get out of web design. It's insane. And so I don't know, maybe like managing small sites for people and a few small things but at the same time, I want to rely a lot less on that. Of course, I had to let go of one of my biggest clients because the guy kept on not paying his bills, and I can't spend any more of my time doing work and not knowing when or if I'm going to get paid for stuff. And so we're trying to, what I want to do is I want to pivot into spending a little bit more time on Switch to Linux, although we may do less videos, because I want to try and up the quality of the videos again. And this time, though, create a giant resource, which is a good, easy, searchable, taggable database of information where we can send people to in the event you want to do this. Of course, this raises a few things. Do we throw ads on it? I really do not want to touch Google to the new version of the site, so I wouldn't be doing anything like that. I might just do affiliate links and rely on affiliate links and you guys supporting through Patreon, Subscribestar, and things like that. So I think that when I first launched the website, I think it was a really good website. The problem is it hasn't been updated forever. So if you go over into like desktop environments, and I'm talking about the desktop environments that are available, I'm teaching about desktop environments on like this Fedora, this GNOME on Fedora is like Fedora 25, I think. If it's even that new, I don't know. Linux Mint, this is 17.3. So everything on here is really out of date. I like the teaching element, but we don't have a way to search on the current site. So the new site, I'm going to have it searchable. We're going to have a search function. We're going to have tag resources. So if you're like audio stuff, anything related to audio stuff that I've done a video on, boom, you can get it in the tag searches. So that's really what I want to do. So we have a unified place that we can send people to if you're helping or trying to help them switch to Linux or if they want to get information. So that's kind of the direction that I really want to take things in as we are moving. And so I'm really right now, we haven't done a lot of videos, but this week I've spent about 10 hours working on coding. So the first problem is I started developing it in an old platform. We had a roll up, but it was a major release change. It streamlined a lot of the code, but it meant rewriting all of the theme files that I had already previously done. So I've been rewriting the theme files, and I think I have most of those theme files done, save for the few that I don't have any content with, and I'm just going to manually fix those as I start adding the content. So the first step is going to be starting to add a few extra content and a few more pages, which I'll get up here soon. And then hopefully by the end of October is kind of the goal that I want to get the website relaunched so it'll be easy to find things, searchable, and stuff like that. So that's kind of what the goal is. And when we do that, I want to focus on the videos. We're going to do less of them. So like right now I'm trying to do a video Monday and Wednesday and Saturday if I can. I'm going to cut that down to 1 or 2 a week outside of the live streams. So the live streams here, which we can talk about topics and maybe bring in new users to, help them out, get questions answered. And then these 1 or 2 other videos a week at most so that I can spend more time on them, write more footage, and really work on the videos over the course of a week, which should bring up the quality quite a bit. That's kind of what my goal is that I'd like to see happen. So if you guys have any thoughts on it here, give me your thoughts on the panel here first, and we'll look at the comments.
It sounds like a really large amount of work to be undertaking if you got the time.
Yeah. Not a lot, but we'll make it work. I mean, if I stress myself out,
are you going to like pull?
What's
are you going to pull resources from your past videos?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to start with pulling out everything. So probably what we're going to do is I did about 2 years ago, I updated almost all the desktop videos. So I'm going to pull those new versions in for the desktop stuff. And then as I can, I'm going to record newer videos. But what I would like to do is update the articles, if not the video, update the articles with what has changed since the latest video, and then eventually roll into the videos. That way I don't have a huge time constraint to have the videos necessarily done, because version to version, the desktop environments don't drastically change too much. But you might highlight in the text, hey, the newest version has this, and this new, things like that. So that is, that's what I think.
It reminds me, your website is like a stable Debian release. It
It is.
stays for a long time.
Yes, yes, yes. And I would like to turn it into more of an Arch base, so it's constantly rolling, so that it's constantly up to date, and that's what I'd like to see. So, as Ubuntu comes up with new versions, we're just going to go ahead and do the distro reviews. So that leaves another fun question. Maybe I'll just grab a little piece of paper here. What are the things we want to see in distro reviews? Which was a topic I was thinking about doing a couple weeks ago if I could find internet. But what are the best things to highlight in distro reviews to help new users and even advise older users, more experienced users about changes? What are the best things people want to see?
Since I got involved with Peppermint, I've got to see like 50 different Peppermint reviews, and there's different ways people do them. There's the kind of reviews where people just install it, show you the installer, and then they walk right through it, but they don't show you everything in the menu and everything else. Then there's the fast-paced ones where the guys don't say nothing. They're just playing music, but they open up every single thing in the distro and show it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's different ways of even
doing
that.
So basically there's no real answer as to that. Maybe just highlight what is the Linux kernel, what is the package manager, what are the default applications, and what are the things that makes this distro unique.
I mean, even with the kernels and even on Debian, the kernels have been rapidly kind of been ticking up about every 2 or 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how often the other distros replace their kernels, but...
Well, Debian, I mean, never, but,
No, they're up.
Yeah. Well, they'll update within the series, but not necessarily. Debian's not going to roll out the latest version.
It's been pretty regularly every month or 2 months lately.
Yeah, what I'm saying though is if you look at the kernels that are available, they're not going to change from a 5 to 6 like an Arch is. But they're going to keep on upgrading whatever the LTS path is, whatever you're doing. Let's see.
Like they're not, they're still staying within the 5.10 realm, but then you have your 5 all the way from 5.10.10. Now they're to 5.10.18.
Yeah. Those are all the security patches to fix the bugs that are found.
So either security patches or hardware enablement add-ons.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What bad parts about Mint 21? In my opinion, the worst parts about Mint 21 are the Ubuntu package base has become unstable because of so much reliance on snaps that they're not updating the dependencies and things as much as they could. And if you're not relying on snap packages, it leads to some instability in the system. And I've observed some of that. I find my Linux Mint experience right now is not nearly as good as my Linux Mint experience was back in, 18 and 19. I think 18 is where Linux Mint peaked at this point in time.
18.3 was rock solid for Mint.
Yeah, and I ran 18.3. I ran 18.3 for several years running the channel. We ran that for like ever, but 19, I think I skipped 19 on this computer. I think I'm on 20 on this one. I even know what I'm running on this one. Or am I on 19? Maybe I'm on a 19.3. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm even running on my current system. Isn't that exciting? Like, yeah, that's okay. I'm running Linux Mint 20.2. I think I might have been running 20.1 when I bought a new hard drive, and then the hard drive crashed back in, was it March, I think? No, it was February or March. The hard drive crashed, so I bought an SSD, and that's why I made the decision we're just going to upgrade to 20.2.
Well, they're already up to 21 now.
Yeah. And I'm not rolling at this point in time. I might do security patches every, 3-6 months or something. Maybe I should do it more than that, but I don't want a lot of things changing. Linux Mint, though, has been pretty good. I've not had issues with Linux Mint changing much. Mick Jagger isn't rolling much. He's just too old. You're considering accepting community submissions for the website. I don't know if I'm going to do like open community submissions, but if people would like to help with the website, and we can appoint a few website editors who would like to do it, and I mean, at least starting as volunteer, I would be open to that. And then, hey, if we actually can successfully kill the web design company and rely entirely on Switch to Linux for the majority of the bills, hey, we can talk about payment options then. But I don't want to have it like broad open community, so I don't want to build a platform. But at the same time, yes, I would accept some help if anybody would like to help with it. Rust programming tutorials when? I don't know anything about Rust. I know it exists.
We were talking about the kernel versions just now. I opened the kernel page just to be curious. On Sunday, this last Sunday, they released version 6.0.
Okay. Yeah, I know that one was there. On distro reviews, I'd like to see how much resources it needs, packages, and DEs. So let's do DE options, resources. All right, these are all good things. Okay, I've noticed that snaps are far faster now. Are they faster now? I don't know. I won't put them on my system unless I have to. When they decentralize the snap distribution model, I'll think about it. Log into Debian stable machines. Moths fly out of the screen, and it smells suddenly smells like Grandma's house. I know, right? That's why I like it. It's those subtle memories of Grandma's house. That's why I like Debian.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny though is there's more and more distros, like Debian-based distros coming out, and most of them are all like XFCE.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that the people are just popping on the market. Storm OS, that one was generally a Arch to start with, but the creators of that one decided they would do a Debian spin of it with XFCE. You know, and then you got MX Linux, and there's, I think, Sparky's Debian based. I think that one's a Qt based one though. You got Antics, that's Qt, I think, also. But yeah, there's an enormous amount of Debian stuff out there.
Mm-hmm. Let's check out some Odyssey comments here. Let's see.
Of course, you got Peppermint too. You know, if you really want to go with something, and it's being worked on.
Joshua TV may have problems with this cool place. You know, it says I don't mind the platform to watch stuff, but it's just I can't easily use it without a headache. And I have, you know, right now we're streaming on 5 platforms that are working. So, doubt Linux Libre will get rusty anytime soon. For its worse, since Free Software Foundation doesn't like Rust. Yeah, but Linus already said he's including Rust into. Is it 6? I think version 6. Piece of new internet. Okay, did that one. When using hardware keys to log in, does the location get included with a timestamp? If so, can this be masked? If you're using an app like Google's Authenticator, probably. I don't know. I use hardware keys for logins, if that's what you're referring to. So I use YubiKeys. So no, you're perfectly safe on YubiKeys. Do you ever browse Gemini? No. VPN connection and real-time VPN server. Of course, IP is not your connecting computer. There you go. Dist review, privacy/security, probably another focus, FAQ tutorials. Yeah, we want to build, wrap a lot of the privacy and security things in. Talk about why we might want to switch to Linux, things like that, for sure. Okay. Coreboot, did you always use modern PCs? Mine aren't old. We'll put it that way. I do have one old one. It'd be fun to see if I can get something working on it. They handed it to me. It was a very interesting machine. No power supply, so I need to manufacture one, but I have the ability to do that. I'd like to see Linux Mint fix LMDE where connecting an external monitor works out of the box. Really? Most secure system is an unplugged one. There you go. You always run cubes and just turn off your net VM. Linux Mint, yes, only pain when it gets NVIDIA drivers right. There you go. Just avoid NVIDIA like the plague, absolutely. All right, we got a couple folks over on Rumble chatting as well. Braxel will watch and support your channels on any platform. Your content is always great. It's helped me move to Linux. Very good, man. Well, thank you. Linux has room for growth. Howdy, says the Quantum Alphas over there on Rumble. Purple Tiger 69, hello. Buried Unkind. Linux Mint has become old and boring. I like it that way. I don't want excitement in my computers because I use my computers to work. LMDE is not Ubuntu. Yes, I do like that one. I love Pop, but pure Debian kind of guy. There you go. The Die Master is over there on Twitch. And the Vampire Frog is still chilling on D-Live. Doing good, getting ready for bed. So you're in Eastern Europe. Well, have a good night there. And still, I don't see anything on Joshu TV. In theory, we are streaming something into the ether of Joshu TV. We'll see.
It's roaming around the planet.
somebody somewhere is out there like, I can find it. Like, please let me know where and how. I mean...
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'll reach out. I actually, the guy that makes Joshu TV is a friend of a good friend of mine, and so I actually have direct connections to the guy, so I shouldn't slam it quite as much. I've actually chatted with him on some streams before as well. He's a cool guy. He reminds me of like my brother. He just sits there and smokes. On stream. It's funny. He's a cool guy though. I just need to reach out to him and be like, hey, I need to get some live streaming here working. Give me a hand here. So, all right. Still using Mint 19.3 now with jammy kernel and security updates. Not for the faint of heart, but I got tired of redoing my system every 2 years. There you go. Did my first server this week, Ubuntu 18.04. Any 32-bit server would I recommend? So if you need a 32-bit server, I would not do Ubuntu 18.04 because it's just getting old. But I mean, I say that, but I was going to say, hey, Debian always has good 32-bit servers, but I don't know. What's going to be newer? The latest Debian 32-bit or Ubuntu 18.04? I think the latest Debian 32-bit server would probably be newer. Mr. Anderson, happy to make the hangout. You changed your picture, Mr. Anderson, I think. Greetings. All right. I pretty much covered all I really wanted to chat about. Stay tuned for the updates on that. Oh, the other thing we are going to put on the new site is I'll see if I can manufacture a little button over there. Just run a module or something that I can update daily. Where all of the stream links are. So every time we do a stream, so like on the weekly news roundup, it's easy because I always put those on the website. So you can go to the website at switchedtolinux.com, find the article for the weekly news roundup, click on the button in there, and the first thing I'm putting at the top of the articles as of about a month ago is all of the stream links. So if you want to catch the stream, or if we get booted off of the tubies, or if something's not working, you can go right over to the website, switchedtolinux.com, pull up the article for the latest weekly news roundup, and all the stream links for the live streams will be right there. What I'd like to do is take that off of the articles because, of course, some of them are going to expire after the stream's over, and so having them on the sidebar, so when we're live, they're there, and when we're not live, boom, they disappear. That's something I would like to see done as well. Review of Haiku.
Since you're redoing your website, there's one feature that I wish you could add: RSS feeds.
That should have RSS feeds already. The current one does as well. Yeah, current site's WordPress. WordPress always has RSS feeds. Just get /feed on any WordPress website.
I'm not.
Is it /feed, I think, or is it not /fee?
Okay.
Let me see if
Slash fee.
right.
Okay.
Slash fee is like, give me money.
Yeah.
Is it? There is an RSS feed. Okay, so that's downloading. Yeah, that downloads an XML file with the latest content.
Okay. I have a plugin in Firefox that gives an icon that used to be in the old Firefox. That whenever a website had an RSS feed, the RSS feed icon shows up in the URL bar next to the star and the.
Okay, so make it a much more explicit and easy to see and easy to find RSS feed.
Yeah.
Got it. Will do.
I have maybe 500 RSS feeds in my feed reader, including almost 200 YouTube channels.
That raises a question. I've been using a feed reader lately, testing out a feed reader for the collecting the news. So I'm using Nice Feed is the one I'm using on Android, which does not work well. Most feeds, like, you can know exactly what the URL of a feed is. If it's not in their database, it will not work. So if anybody knows of a good RSS feed for Android, it has to be something I can grab on F-Droid, then I'd be interested in that. But
yeah, I use a Live Reader on the desktop.
Okay. Yeah, I do the news. The news is the one thing I do from my phone. It is I think it's the only thing I do from my phone is I do the news. The news articles. I wrap them up, like I collect them all onto a shared document, and then I'll go at the end of the week, the night before the news. So like tonight after the stream, I'll grab all those off of my cloud server, and then I'll actually catalog, organize, and sort everything on the computer. But going to review Haiku based on VEOS. I don't know. BEOS was good in 1999. Loved messing with it. All right, is it any good now?
I remember reading a Norwegian computer article about the BOS in 1999, and the writer asked the question that he was wondering if after testing it for a week, he was wondering if Microsoft loved to reboot because whenever you install, you didn't need to reboot.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I mean, Microsoft just loves reboot. It's just like, oh, you're in the middle of something important, reboot. It's fun. So I see you've been downloading this Linux distribution for like 6 hours now, and it's got like 15 seconds left, but I need to reboot now. And so, you know. These are the things that cause the world to
I
loathe
know the
and rage
feeling. I
and hate.
had it open in a virtual machine. Before the virtual machine actually fully had it started up, it wanted to reboot it. Then wanted to reboot it again.
Oh, there you go.
Then when it finally got it up, I go to the settings, and I go and I check, and it's actually now it's installing updates. Like it's doing a bunch of crap, before I can even get it open.
I have an SSD up here which has Windows 10. It was from my micro tower. When I bought my micro tower, I pulled the SSD out and just threw a new hard drive in there and installed Endeavor OS on it. So I have that, and it has not been booted, of course, in over a year. I mean, I've not taken that thing down since I moved into the van. And so it's been at least 18 months since that drive's been in there. I wonder how many updates that thing wants to push right now. Like, turn it on, it sucks all of my data out of my plan for the month. We're done now. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember a friend of mine. He had a DSL connection 15 years ago, and the ISP had you paid for a certain something, and if you fail to pay the bill, rather than just cut you off from the internet, they slowed your line down to 64 kilobit as a single ISDN speed.
Yeah.
And he was grumpy about it because he also had but he also had a VoIP phone subscription from them. And the slow speed because it was not even enough to keep his VoIP phone working.
Yeah. Let's see. Corbett replaced the majority proprietary BIOS with Libre version. More audible and more secure. Use disable/delete most of the IME. Yep. Libre root is even better. It's entirely FOSS. Will even try to remove IME, but very few, very old devices support it. Yeah. So we need good, more open source BIOS type systems. Okay. Stop your work. We need to reboot. That's right. MS doesn't allow your productivity to get too high. That's right. It's harder to just replacing.
You don't even get a message.
Yeah, just we're doing it.
We're doing it. Forget you.
Yeah. It's harder to justify replacing more productive employees with AI, so it just makes sense. Yeah. Amazon OS, I imagine, will be total AI for you. Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine the weekly nag screen. You haven't bought anything in the last week.
That's right. Excuse me, sir. 60601 on Rumble. Hi. Well, greetings to you as well. All right. The Die Master's still holding down the fort over on Twitch. Oh, our Vampire Frog went to bed, apparently. And there's Joshua TV. Can't find it. Somebody burning out their clutch behind me? I think so.
Yeah.
Sounded like it.
Sounds like it.
All right.
Eventually they're gonna get to a point, okay, for videos. For each video you watch, you have to watch a certain amount of ads before you can even see the video. If it's a 1 hour video, you're gonna have to watch a huge amount of ads to get to it. If it's a 5-minute video, maybe one ad.
Did anybody?
Ads will be the currency.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Did anybody see here? YouTube actually experimented with running 15 unskippable 3-second ads on a limited number of users' videos.
Yeah, I
People
saw.
don't realize
about that.
a lot of us ditched our regular TV to get away from that crap.
Yeah. I know, and they don't realize what they're doing to the internet right now. Just with all that, I mean, think back to how much of our bandwidth. If I'm paying, and I pay an exorbitant amount of money to have 150 gigabytes of data, which is insanely stupid in America. Why can I not get unlimited internet for less than $100? It does not make any sense. But if you look at that and start looking at that kind of stuff, how much of that bandwidth is advertising that they're pushing on me? Why do I have to pay for somebody to advertise to me? Why am I paying the advertising fees?
They're spending your bytes.
Yeah.
I remember I used to run Prevoxy in order for filtering before all the websites starting using HTTPS. Then it didn't work. But the stats page could tell you how much, and almost always it stopped a third of the traffic.
It's not just that they're using your internet access download bytes. They're also using your electricity too. They're wasting that on top of you.
Yeah. So where are all the tree hugging lunatics telling us to cut power? Okay, let's cut power. All you're doing on your little computer there is email and activism. Why don't you switch to a Raspberry Pi and use no power? There's a thought. Yeah, somebody else here. YouTube is experimenting with needing YouTube Premium in order to watch video in 4K. I'm like, I'm okay with that. Like, I force my video down to 480p all the time. It keeps on trying to reset itself at 720. Like, no, that's too much data. 480. You know, I mean, I'm getting old. I can't distinguish
have a-
between
a-
1080,
a
1080p
plugin
and
for-
4K. You know, what's that, something?
I have an add-on to my Firefox where you can set the maximum amount of quality on YouTube, and I have it set to 1080p. I have no need for any higher resolution.
I mean, I keep it
I
at 480
I set mine to
because
720.
yeah, I like 720. If I had unlimited internet, I'd do that. But I have very limited internet, so I set it down to, I set it down to 480 because I don't sit there and watch the video anyway. You know, I'm playing it while I'm doing other work and things like that. So, but I think we've covered all the things I had on my list to talk about. If there's nothing else, I think we're gonna jump out of here, and I'll hang out with all of the supporters offline here for a bit. Powered off a phone charger. That's right. But I mean, hey, you should see my setup. Where my if you have not seen the setup, I think I have some videos on this channel. I have some videos on my travel channel where I actually talk about the power systems that's running my Raspberry Pis, because they're actually I have the Raspberry Pis mounted to boards which are stuck to the wall with Velcro. And so I can pull them off with Velcro and put them back up. But you can actually buy buck converters that you give them either a 12 or 24 volt input, and they simply output to a Raspberry Pi power cord, which is a standard. You can get the USB-Cs, or you can get the micro USBs, and then they'll push out the 5 watts and the 3 amps or the 5 amps. You can get them in 2 amps, a variety of things. So you can literally I have these on toggle switches. So I just hit a toggle switch and it turns on a Raspberry Pi for me. So I have all my Raspberry Pis on toggle switches, which is a lot of fun actually. So just toggle them on, toggle them off, and they're all being powered by a giant lithium-ion battery. So, yeah, but you can charge them on nothing, and I can run that thing for thousands of hours on my battery without extra charge going in, because they're just that power efficient. But where are all these tree huggers telling us to cut power and not even cognizant of the amount of kilowatt hours that they use in any given day? Yeah. All right. I guess speaking of the travel channel, we are going to continue with business as usual until the NPS actually does change their rules. The lawsuit was initially overturned, but they're fighting back against it to do one more step, which is to have the entire appellate court look at it instead of just 3 judges, because a lot of people are saying this ruling is not right. That would prevent us from filming in national parks.
When we actually pay the taxes for the parks.
Yeah, well, the law goes back to 1980s with not wanting film crews recording in a national park,
right.
And I completely understand that. But what has always been legal and lawful is I can go in with my DSLR camera and I can take tons and tons of pictures, and I can do a slideshow presentation talking and narrating and showing you pictures. Perfectly legal for commercial purposes. But when they wrote the law, they didn't understand that cameras were coming out that not only, like, the same camera I do snap, 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 snap can just do record video, and they don't have a way to figure that out in the midst of it. But what has happened in the middle in here is that the 2 judges that ruled against the case, they wanted to silence free speech because they were talking about, we can't film police officers on the scene, despite the law says you can. And they basically was trying to say, if people can film at any point in time, then this is going to raise too many problems for I don't know, whatever. Name your liberal talking point. That's really where the ruling went. If you read it,
they're going to go down that road, they can turn off all the traffic cams.
Yep.
They can stop surveilling everybody.
Yeah. But
either cameras for all or cameras for none.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. And I get it. They don't want people to go in and destroy the parks. And I'm completely behind that. I think that, film crews that are, running multi-million-dollar budgets, should go in and get all the proper paperwork and fill out all the proper paperwork. But if they allow any average tourist to go in with whatever they can carry in off their back, why can I not, in free enterprise America, monetize that information so long as I'm not destroying anything? And then, hey, I've picked my fair share of garbage out of national parks that other people have left behind. So it's not like all that, but you know, that's the thing is that, so when the ruling came down, the NPS is not changing their policy. So as of now, anything we film and record and release from the period of time back before they did the overruling, which was a little bit before I started the channel, to even currently now, we can still do things. So hopefully I will have time tonight to work on it. Tomorrow you should be able to get a chance to see I think tomorrow is the video where we're talking about the Northern Lights, which was done at a national park. So these are some of the things to think about. But yeah, so that channel, we're just going to keep it going, plugging along as we are. And if I have time, I'll finish the website for that. I don't know. I think I think that would be a website worth doing as well. I just don't have time to manage it all. And I really want to focus on the Switch to Linux stuff instead. So I'm doing that. My taxes, my parks. Yeah, all the signs in there too is like your public lands, your public land. Well, I would like to take a picture of my public lands and share it with my friends and neighbors and random strangers on the internet. Oh, no, you can't do that. I thought it was my land. But that's how America's become these days, right? And this is your land. No, it's not. It's your land until I say it's not. Come to South Africa. You can record whatever you want. Yeah. Me in South Africa.
You get a camera. You get a camera. Everyone gets a camera.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I saw a sign the other day. It said, "Don't drug and drive." I'm like, okay, you know you're in a bad state when that's the case. And then avocado cheeseburgers was literally on the menu, and so that was that. So yeah. Carl Harris just jumped on. Greetings. We are just about, I think, to wrap this up, but you can hang out because we are going to be hanging out off camera for a little bit. So I guess we'll wrap this one up here. So thanks for hanging out, everybody, and we will see y'all later.
Goodbye, everyone.